guys, it's Mrs. Fry. Happy Friday. The book that we're going to read today is kind of a silly book about birds. I don't know about you, but I am really excited to be hearing birds these days and knowing that spring is on its way. The name of the book that we are reading today is called Tom's Tweet. It is written by Jill Esbaum and it is illustrated by Dan Santat. I hope you like it. It's one of my favorite books. I have a lot of favorite books. Tom's Tweet. While hunting one morning, right after a storm, Tom, this is Tom, heard an inquisitive tweet, and there 'twas left in the rainy dewgrass was a flip-flapping, fluttery treat. Tom feasted his eyes on the quivering tot. "Hello, breakfast," he said with a grin. He opened his chompers to gobble it down, but the thing was so wretchedly thin. "Dad, burn it," said Tom. "You're too skinny to eat. Why, you're nothing but feather and bone." He started to leave, but the shivering tweet looked so frightened, unhappy, alone. "I will not take you back to your nest," Tom declared. But the thing blinked, 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 and egad, Tom was halfway up the tree with the poor little tyke when its mama showed up, fighting mad. Tom mumbled and mumphed, but he couldn't explain with the tweet in his kisser like that. Mama Tweet didn't care. She was too busy pecking, and anyway, birds don't speak cat. Mama looks kind of upset. Tom doesn't look so happy either. Tom ran with the tweet through the garden and yard in an awkward, undignified crouch. He scooted past peonies, pansies, and petunias and squeezed through the rose bushes. Ouch! The baby tweet's black button eyes blinked, blinked, blinked as it swayed on its wee little feet. "Consarn it," Tom grumbled. "Now what do I do? Just my luck to get stuck with a tweet." "Tweet," chirped the baby. "Tweet, tweet, 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 tweet." Tom scowled at the feathery pest. What was wrong with the thing? What on earth did it want? "Will you quit if I build you a nest?" Tom braved Mama Tweet for a bundle of twigs. She dive-bombed his noggin. Ow! Ow! He dropped the tweet onto the twigs and commanded, "Stop tweetin'! Be happy! Right now!" The tot settled into the nest, but its cries didn't stop. And why would they unless... ... "Dag nabbit," Tom muttered. "There's no way around it. I'll just have to feed you, I guess." Love this picture of Tom digging for worms. Tom scratched and dug in the storm-puddled mud for the juiciest worms he could find. But the tweet wouldn't eat. It was waiting for something. Tom gasped. "Are you out of your mind?" With his innards in knots, he selected a wiggler and gingerly chewed it to pulp. He passed the mashed worm from his mouth to the baby, who swallowed it up, gobbly-gulp. Happy at last, the tweet hopped up on to Tom and explored him. Above and beneath, he tugged on his whiskers and he pecked his ears, and Tom gritted his still wormy teeth. Nibble, nibble, nibble. Look at, he got these little worm bits on his teeth. Look. When the little tweet yawned and hopped under Tom's armpit, he squirmed away, shaking his head. "No snuggling," he grumped. "I'm not that kind of cat." But the wee thing ignored what he said. Tom sat through the long afternoon with that tweet wedged in tight like an unwanted burr. And although he resisted him with all of his might, from deep down within his chest came a purr. Finally, Mama flew off to find food for the rest of her tots. "Now's our chance," murmured Tom to his wakening guest, sneaking peeks between marigold pots. "Here you go, little fella," he said. "Home at last. Say hello to your sister and your brothers." Its feathers a-tremble, the tweet sadly blinked, first at Tom, then the petrified others. That night as he slumbered, Tom dreamt of the tweet? Was he nuts? How completely absurd! Yes, as hard as it was for a cat to admit, he was missing that bothersome bird. The next morning, when Tom stepped from under the porch, a quick hop, flutter, plop caught his eye. As he rushed to the tree, he thought, "Nah, couldn't be." But it was. It was his tweet. Oh my. Landed on his noggin again. Here comes Tom. "Tarnation! You have to stay up there," he said. "You cannot be my friend. I am a cat." But the baby just smiled, and Tom saw that this tweet didn't care about details like that. When Mama Tweet saw that old Tom was a softy, her sorry was long and ear-splitting. And to prove that she trusted him really and truly, she gave him a job. Tweety sitting. So that's this week's Read Aloud. It's called Tom's Tweet. It is written by Jill Esbaum and Dan Santat. On the blog this week, there will be some activities to go along with this book, as well as um, uh, Eagle Cam from the Eagles in Deborah, Iowa, Decorah, Iowa, and we'll have some other information about some bird activities. Next week, we'll be reading a book about how the Audubon Society got started, so we'll have 2 weeks of bird books. And I've also continued reading the one and only Ivan, and so that is on today's blog also. I hope that you guys have a tremendous weekend and that you enjoy the sunshine and you get a chance to go out there and listen to the birds. And we will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.